At this somewhat late hour this evening, we welcome you to the 12th meeting of the House State Government Committee. I now call the meeting to order. Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll at this time?
Representative Bojanowski.
Here.
Representative Bowling. Representative Bratcher.
Here.
Representative Chester Burton. Representative Graham.
Here.
Representative Heath.
Here.
Representative Heverin. Here. Representative Herron.
Here.
Representative Hodgson. Here. Representative Huff.
Here.
Representative Johnson. Here. Representative Maddox.
Here.
Representative Rawlings. Here. Representative Tate.
Here.
Representative Tipton.
Here.
Representative Williams.
Here.
Representative Witten.
Here.
Representative Imes.
Here.
Representative Hale.
Here. We do have a quorum this evening, and we are constituted to do business. Just as a reminder to all of the members here and to all of those in the audience, please silence your cell phones. Those in the room, remember, if you want to speak, make sure your microphone is on, and so we can hear you good. As I do in all of my meetings, if you'll please stand for a moment and join me as we pledge allegiance to our flag today. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you very much for that. Item number 1 on our agenda this evening is Senate Bill 4, which is sponsored by Senator Higdon, an act relating to sick leave for members of the teachers' retirement system and declaring an emergency. Senator Higdon, you are already at the table, sir. If you would please introduce yourself for the record, and then we will proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee. Y'all treated me so well. The last time I was here, I figured I'd come back. Thank you. The Senate Bill 4, probably a lot of you have already made commitments to vote against it. This bill has been drastically changed, all the things that you were asked to vote against.
There has been a motion on the sub.
Okay.
We do have a motion on the sub and a second. And we do have some questions on the sub. Representative Bojanowski, you are first on my list always on the sub.
Thank you. Could you just explain how the sub changes the bill, please?
Well, all the language about sick days is gone. All this, the sub does, right now, all schools across the state, they accumulate and have the sick day information at the end of the year. They accumulate that and they have it, but it's never transferred to TRS, never has been. And so we truly don't know what our true liabilities are. So all this says is that when the school system collects that information at the end of the year, they send it to TRS. That's basically what it does. Nothing in there about limiting sick days or none of the things that you got a phone call about are still in there. Thank you.
Representative Tate, did you have a question on the sub? No, sir. Okay. Representative Graham, do you have a question on the sub?
I just want to follow up. The only information that they will be providing is the sick days that roll over. Is that what you're saying?
Here's what they'll report. The sick days accrued at the beginning of the fiscal year, the sick days accrued during the fiscal year, and any other days of leave, any type. They would report all that to TRS.
Okay.
And I apologize, I didn't have the sub, but last night I would have sent it to you, and so you could have seen it, but I'm just...
We first have a motion. We have this sub before us. We have a motion and a second on the sub. All in favor of the committee substitute, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? We now have before us the Senate Bill 4 as amended by the committee sub. Senator Higdon, would you like to proceed, or are you finished?
If there's been a motion, I'm fine.
I am waiting for a motion. There has been a motion.
I have one more question.
Well, we are now having a motion on the bill as amended by the sub. We do have a motion. Is there a second? There is a second. Representative Graham, now you may go ahead and ask the question, please.
Will there still be it says here that the Director of Public Accountants will perform a special audit of the sick leave program every 5 years to ensure that sick leave balances are being reported correctly to Kentucky Teachers Retirement System.
Representative Graham, I
that-
think you're looking at the
Is
the
that the
original
old
bill.
part of the?
You're looking at
That's
the
all I
original
needed to
bill.
know.
Yes, sir.
That's all I needed to
That
know.
is not in the sub. It
Okay.
has nothing to do, there's no audit mentioned in the sub.
Any other questions? Seeing no further questions, Madam Secretary, would you please call the roll at this time?
Representative Bojanowski,
Yes.
Representative Bowling, Representative Bratcher,
Yes.
Representative Chester Burton, Representative Graham. Is that a pass?
I'm going to pass on this for the moment.
Representative Heath,
Yes.
Representative Heverin,
Yes, can I please explain my vote?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm going to vote yes today. It gave me comfort that Representative Bojanowski voted yes as a teacher. I had a little concern. I was going to be a pass vote today. I do think it's really important that we have the conversation, but also recognize that a lot of times when teachers accrue sick days, it might be to care for somebody like my mom did with my grandmother. It could be for a pregnancy leave or anything like that. So just recognizing that it is important that people can save their sick days. But I do appreciate the data, and I always push for that. So thank you, Senator Higdon.
Representative Herron,
Yes.
Representative Hodgson, Representative Huff,
Yes.
Representative Imes,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative Maddox,
Yes.
Representative Rawlings,
Yes.
Representative Tate,
Yes.
Representative Tipton,
Mr. Chair, may I explain my yes vote?
Yes, you may. Please go ahead.
Mr. Chair and members, I've served on the Public Pension Oversight Board for the past few years, and I think it's vital that we have accurate information and accurate data. In the 2022 session, we paid off the green box dollars. I think the sick leave balances for our retired teachers was about $350 million of that $479 that we paid into the system. In our meetings, TRS has told us that the current liability for active teachers is in excess of $500 million. So I think it's important for us to have the data, and I appreciate the Senator bringing this bill forward. Thank you.
Representative Williams. Yes. Representative Witten,
Yes.
Representative Hale.
Yes.
Mr. Chair.
Just
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought he was the last one.
Senate Bill 4, as amended by the committee substitute, receiving 17 yes votes and 0 no votes. 1 pass vote passes favorably. Should do the same on the House floor. Thank you, Senator Higdon. I appreciate it this afternoon.
Mr. Chairman, members of the committee, thank you all very much, and blessings through the rest of the session. Hang on.
Thank you. The next item on our agenda today is Senate Bill 261, sponsored by Senator Nemes, an act related to health insurance. Senator Nemes, would you please come to the table? And your guests that are with you this afternoon.
I'm Senator Nemes from Bullitt County, District 38.
Chris Chamness, Commissioner of the Kentucky Employees Health Plan, Department of Employee Insurance.
Thank you, gentlemen. Senator Nemes, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. Senate Bill 61 is a cleanup bill. It modernizes and streamlines the eligibility of and administration of the Kentucky employees. Instead of reading all through this, I'm just going to give a synopsis. It's just a cleanup bill, and it helps the state. There was in 1994 a plan that 30 years ago that they're changing to better benefit the state employees throughout the state. If there's any questions on the bill, please do. And do you want to go over it a little better?
Motion on the bill.
Second.
We do have a motion and a second. Sir, you may go ahead. If you would like to say something, you may proceed.
I'll just keep it very brief, mindful of the members' time. I just want to thank Senator Nemes for agreeing to bring this bill forward. As the Senator mentioned, it is a housekeeping bill to modernize certain standards, provide flexibility for the plan. There's no direct changes to benefits through this plan. I know that sometimes that's a concern. I'm happy to answer any other questions.
We do have a motion and a second on Senate Bill 261. Representative Bojanowski, do you have a question, please?
Yes, if I could ask a question?
Yes, go right ahead, ma'am.
So on page 9 is a discussion of changing the hearing aids benefit from only for under 18s to, I'm assuming, all adults. Could you just speak on that briefly?
Yes, so that's to bring the standard in line with the Affordable Care Act anti-discrimination standards. It removes the cap on that, but it still provides coverage of hearing aids. One hearing aid per each ear every 36 months with no cap in amount.
Any other questions? Seeing no further questions, Madam Secretary, please call the roll.
Representative Bojanowski,
Yes.
Representative Bowling, Representative Bratcher,
Yes.
Representative Chester Burton, Representative Graham, Representative Heath,
Yes.
Representative Heverin,
Yes.
Representative Herron,
Yes.
Representative Hodgson, Representative Huff,
Yes.
Representative Imes,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative Maddox,
Yes.
Representative Rawlings, Representative Tate,
Yes.
Representative Tipton,
Yes.
Representative Williams,
Yes.
Representative Witten,
Yes.
Representative Hale.
Yes. Senate Bill 261 receiving 18 yes votes, 0 nay votes, passes with favorable expression. Should do the same on the House floor. Thank you, Senator Nemes, and your guests for being with us today.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee.
Thank you.
The last item on our agenda this evening is Senate Bill 290, sponsored by Senator McDaniel, and this is an act relating to state personnel. Senator McDaniel, we welcome you to our evening committee meeting today, and please introduce yourself for the record and both of the ladies if they would do the same.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Chris McDaniel, State Senator, 23rd District.
Thank you. Mary Elizabeth Bailey, Secretary of the Personnel Cabinet.
Rosemary Holbrook, General Counsel of the Personnel Cabinet.
Thank you all for being with us this evening. Senator McDaniel, to the member, there is a committee sub. There is a motion. There is a second. Representative Bojanowski has a question on the sub. Go right ahead, please.
Yes. Could you just explain how the sub changes the bill that came to us?
Certainly.
Yes,
Mr.
you
Chairman,
may.
is that okay?
Yes.
Thank you, Representative. So there are two quick changes to it. Mr. Chairman, I don't know your protocol. Do you want me to speak to the underlying bill and get to the sub at the end, or sub first?
I would rather you go to the sub first because
Sub
her,
first.
her question
Very
was
well.
specifically
Thank you,
to
Mr.
the
Chairman.
sub.
Yes. So there's two changes that the sub makes. First of all, it takes one of the members of the Personnel Board who is currently elected and moves them to a gubernatorial appointment subject to Senate confirmation, like 4 of the other ones are currently. The other change is it removes staff attorneys who are attorneys in a position that requires a law license out of the classified service.
We do have a motion and a second on the sub. All in favor of the adoption of the committee sub, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? The committee sub is adopted. Now, Senator, you may proceed with any other further comments or either one of your guests on the bill as amended by the committee substitute.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Last year, we passed Senate Bill 153. I believe it was unanimous on both sides of the General Assembly, which was a landmark overhaul in coordination with the administration to the state's merit system. This year, Senate Bill 290 is largely a cleanup of that, but does have some other changes requiring a member of the Personnel Board to vacate his or her position or have the board terminate his or her position if he or she separates from the classified service, allows the Secretary of the Personnel Cabinet to promulgate administrative regulations to implement scholarship programs, internship programs, education programs, educational assistant programs for employees, and interview preferences for applicants who complete an executive branch internship program, allows the Secretary to promulgate administrative regs for the classified service governing layoffs, furloughs, and reductions to hours to include.
We do have a motion and a second on the bill as amended by the committee sub. We do have a few questions. Representative Heverin, you are first.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator McDaniel. I appreciate this. I actually have a question for the Secretary.
Yes.
It is my understanding that the Executive Director for the Personnel Board and the General hired. Is that accurate, or can you all give us an update on when you all plan to replace those members?
Those two positions do not fall under the personnel cabinet or the authority of the governor for appointment. But I can tell you there have been some changes at the personnel board and some that are coming. And so they're in the process of that as we speak.
Can I have one follow-up?
Yes, you may. Go right ahead, please.
Thank you. Is that something, who appoints the executive, is it voted on through how do you find the executive director for the personnel board?
It's voted on by the members of the board. So they can do a search, or they can vote to employ a certain individual.
Okay. One more, and then
Yes.
I'll end.
One more.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think that would just be something I would be interested hearing on state government, of kind of how that works, and if we could get updates, even if positions like that change. I think it's really important for us to understand that from the executive branch. Having worked in both branches, I recognize it's a little different, and so I think that would be something helpful. So I'd love to work with you during the interim to learn more. But just having the opportunity to learn more when positions like that are open. I just think it would be helpful for us to continue to be well-rounded legislative members.
Okay.
So thank you.
Thank you.
Representative Graham, you are next.
Two members elected by classified staff down to one, and I understand that what your reasoning was, you're going from 5 to 6 for the governor's appointment. But wouldn't that, in doing that, with one classified staff, it would be a little bit, excuse me, I'm sorry.
It's that season, right?
Excuse me. So can you explain as to, is that the reason why you've reduced that one classified person, or was it a recommendation from the cabinet, or what? What was the purpose?
It wasn't a recommendation from the cabinet, but it was something that we just felt gave the governor more control of the executive branch service overall, and thought that it was a good change to make.
Can I follow up in regards to?
Yes, sir, you may. Go right ahead, please.
It's just dealing with the other situation, removing the classified staff attorneys that are employed in the positions, and that the requirement of license to practice. I understand that, but in terms of how will this impact them in terms of the jobs in which they're doing, and how they're doing those jobs, and will some of them lose their positions?
So it's my understanding that no one will actually lose a position as a
Okay.
direct result of this action. This is simply brought to us. We've had some various folks across agencies who have had concern that in many cases, I mean, as you know, an attorney is the representative of their client in various situations, and that when the principal has lost confidence in the ability of that staff attorney to appropriately represent them in their capacity, that they felt the need for change sometimes was impeded, and that being a critical position, and one also which has a terminal level degree, that those protections were detrimental to the effective implementation of those agencies, but also not necessarily as important as those people did have a terminal degree.
Okay, so the cabinet supported all of this in terms of wanting this to take place?
I will defer to the cabinet on that.
We just received the sub to review, so we would like an opportunity to be able to do that. But as the senator stated, he is correct in how he's explained the situations that have occurred.
Thank you, Mrs. Thank you, Chair.
Yes, sir. Representative Herron, did you have a question?
I do, but I'm good.
Pardon me? Okay, thank you. Representative Rollins.
I just had a brief comment, and Representative Graham already addressed that topic, but when you have a attorney-client relationship, it's sometimes difficult to break, and it's so important to have a relationship of trust. So I just wanted to compliment the committee sub that public agencies should be free to seek new legal counsel when they choose to or when they need to. When there's a dispute and trust or they just aren't working well together, it's good that this allows for them to go to another attorney if they would like to. Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Seeing no further questions, Senator McDaniel, would you like to continue, or are you ready for us to proceed here?
I am ready, Mr. Chairman, at your leg.
I thought that would be the answer I would get. Having the Senate Bill 290 as amended by the committee substitute, Madam Secretary, would you please at this time call the roll?
Representative Bojanowski,
Yes.
Representative Bowling,
Yes.
Representative Bratcher,
Yes.
Representative Chester Burton, Representative Graham, Representative Heath,
Yes.
Representative Heverin,
Yes.
Representative Herron,
Yes.
Representative Hodgson, Representative Huff,
Yes.
Representative Imes,
Yes.
Representative Johnson,
Yes.
Representative Maddox,
Yes.
Representative Rawlings, Representative Tate,
Yes.
Representative Tipton,
Yes.
Representative Williams,
Yes.
Representative Witten,
Yes.
Representative Hale.
Yes. Senate Bill 290, as amended by the committee substitute, receiving 18 yes votes favorably, should do the same on the House floor. Thank you all for your time this evening. We appreciate you
Thank you,
being
Mr.
with us
Chairman.
today.
Thank you, members of the committee.
Committee, I would like to say to you again, thank everyone for coming over this evening. I'd like to again thank our staff for getting all this together for us this weekend. We appreciate them very much. We are adjourned at this time.